Hey guys, welcome back. Well, today I'm going to be taking the JJRC H73 Feahoot. Yeah, Feahoot, what a silly name. Take this out for its test flight. Now, I didn't realize when I did the unboxing video, which if you check my channel, I did this a few days ago, so you want to know everything that came with this drone and kind of the overview of it, be sure to check out that video from a few days ago, though I will include some information that I wasn't aware of in the unboxing. But this drone is the same as the MJX, I believe it's called the X103W. It just has just a little different top, but they're identical. So I noticed just looking around the other day that there's not many videos at all for either this or the other drone. So I did get a couple test flights in with this drone, and I gotta say, so far I'm really unimpressed. This thing is a turd. I mean, I'm really upset with it because it looks so nice, and it right at 250 grams. So if you're in the United States, at least, you wouldn't even have to put your FAA registration number on this drone if you do choose to buy this drone. It has an SD card slot here, a micro SD card slot, so we will record some onboard footage and try to use a screen recording as well. Now, the controller, there was just a few things about the controller that I was unaware of during the unboxing, and that was, of course, this is on and off switch. I think I didn't know what it was because I'm used to a button. Up on top here, the right upper bumper says it's your rates and your lights. The instruction manual says that a quick press does your rates and a long press does your lights. Well, that's not right. It's just the opposite. I was confused when I was flying, thinking, what is going on? Well, a quick press will turn those, and by the lights, I'm talking about these LEDs on the bottom here. These, I guess you could call them landing lights. Quick press will turn those on and off. I like to have them on because it makes the drone, they're quite bright white, it makes it easy to see. Long press will take you between 1 and 2 beeps, and 1, for the high and the low rate. And I like to fly it in high. There's a little bit of a breeze today, but it's rather pleasant. But it was best to fly this drone in the highest rate. And of course, like I said, these antennas are fake, so there's no reason to even have them extended. But this drone is awfully wobbly, and on return to homes, I've had it actually doing this. That's how erratic it is coming down. It doesn't always do that. Most of the time it is wobbling some, but I've had it just go absolutely berserk. Just really disappointed because I really like this controller and I like the screen on it and the telemetry information. So it's actually, the controller itself is quite nice. Now, the app that you need to use for this, and I'm going to put a screenshot up for it, it is the JJRC X app. And that's what you need to use to connect to this. What I found out is do not open that app up and try to do anything with it until you've done two things. Got a lot of sweat bees flying around me today. They're actually not bees or flies, but they look like bees. And what you do is you want to make sure, 1, you connect to the Wi-Fi of the drone first. And then 2, get the compass calibration done. Once you do those 2, then you're safe to go in the app. I found if you go in the app before you connect to Wi-Fi, the app is going to give you this weird abnormal something error, it says, and then the app crashes. Well, it shuts itself down. I don't think it actually crashes. And I've noticed if I don't do the compass calibration, it may work for a little bit and then it crashes as it's waiting for you to calibrate the compass, because you won't get any GPS satellites or telemetry information on your screen here until you've actually, and I think the app too, until you actually calibrate the compass. Thankfully, the controller has a little calibration symbol to let you know that you need to calibrate the compass. So let's dig into this now. So what I'm going to do now is I'll put down the phone and the controller here, and we'll go ahead and extend the arms. I think you want to take the back arms out first on this drone, I believe it was. Yeah. Get it folded out here, and there we go. And like I said, it looks actually quite nice. And this is, of course, the motorized camera. Shoots in 2K, and I got 20 frames per second. Like a lot of the other drones of this style, they only shoot at 20 frames, which is actually quite low, especially for fast movement. The biggest problem I have with mine, and if you look at the other videos, they have it too, but it's quite extreme on mine. That's jello. My goodness, the jello is bad on this drone. And I don't know, man, it's just really full of jello. So what we'll do now is go ahead and turn this guy on, and then we'll connect to the Wi-Fi first. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it down here in a flat level surface, because I think it does do some calibrations when you first start out. Though the level gyro calibration is both sticks down and to the left. You probably should do that. Hopefully I'll remember to do that after the compass calibration. So let's go ahead and turn on the drone here. And it does have a battery and a meter on the battery here. It's got all 4 blue lights. I'm going to go ahead now and extend the little hand grips down on the controller and go ahead and turn the controller on. And it immediately binds here. Now, one thing I want to mention that the instruction manual doesn't mention, though this is very specific usually to MJX products, but since I said a while ago this is the MJX and a JJRC drone, like a collaboration or something, or one brand asked to relabel the other brand's stuff, I don't know. I'm thinking this is made originally by MJX, and that's that you need to bind this thing, because I was turning it on, I would get no battery meter on the actual drone itself. And what you got to do is just hold the unlock motor button in and turn your power on, and it instantly will bind. Once you do that, you don't ever have to do that again. You shouldn't, at least, but that's what you have to do. It does mention in the instruction manual how to do that, because after you do that, you go in and you can change your modes. If you fly in mode 1 or 3, you know, most of them are flying in mode 2. But it doesn't, I couldn't see anywhere where it said, hey, you need to do this before you can actually get bound up to the quad. You know, MJX usually sticks a reminder in there, but I didn't see anything with this JJRC, though it is possible that I overlooked it. So we got it on. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go into my phone here and connect it to the Wi-Fi of the drone. I would recommend turning on airplane mode and then re-enable your Wi-Fi. At least for my phone, that works better at keeping the app getting the Fpv feed. And it's already connected to the drone. OB6FCD is what mine's called. Yours may have a different name. So once it's connected now, then we're going to do the compass calibration. And you're not going to be able to see this, guys, in the glare, but there's a little symbol blinking here. Again, do this after you connect to Wi-Fi, because otherwise there's a good chance that that JJRC X app is going to crash. And to calibrate the compass on this drone is pretty easy. You got your flashing, alternating yellowish green lights there. You're just going to make sure you're away from metal. And if there's metal or concrete rebar on the ground, get it up high. Just do, I think it's 3 turns horizontal. And now we've got green lights here. Then I believe it was nose down. It doesn't really matter. 3 turns vertical, and then the light should go to green in the back and red to the front. So that means that we got the compass calibrated. And I did have a little toilet bowling in one test flight, so I recalibrated. I can't see a way to recalibrate this compass without powering everything off and on. It's not in the app, and I didn't notice a stick combination to do that. That's kind of unfortunate. So to do the gyro calibration for level, it's down and to the left, and hopefully you guys can see it. The light's flashing. It's rather a long level calibration. This is fairly level here. We should be good. Now I've got some telemetry information now that we've done the compass calibration. I have 12 GPS satellites. That's about the max this drone seems to get. I don't think it's just got 13. I don't think it has GLONASS or the Russian satellites. You usually get 18 to 20 if it had that. Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and try to start doing my screen recording here in a moment. All I'm going to do is get into the, and hopefully we're recording this. Sometimes I have trouble with MOBAs and not rotating the screen. I end up with all goofy portrait mode on the app. So now we're going to go ahead and click through the app and go to the feed. Now we actually have the Fpv feed. Hopefully you guys will see here. I just want to verify that yeah, I am recording, and it's got aircraft connected at the top. I don't think the GPS map works too well here in the US. I've never gotten it to load. Just click, oops, I went back out of the app. That wasn't good. And just go back. You click the little box here to go between your feeds when I get to it. There, we're back to the main one. And the you do have a motorized camera tilt, as you guys can see, and it's actually quite smooth. As you can see, it was aimed a little bit down. All right, so let's go ahead now, and we will go ahead and take this guy up for the test flight. I'm a little bit paranoid. I keep thinking that the darn screen recording is not going to work right. I do not have good luck with screen recordings. If for some reason it doesn't then I'll just go with the onboard footage. We're going to start recording that now. I will try to include some onboard footage regardless, so you guys can see the 2K resolution, which if it didn't have the jello, the camera actually looks like it would be pretty good. But man, is there a boatload of jello from my previous 2 test flights with this drone. So let's go ahead now and let's start recording. It's a long press, and it looks like for me it'll say TF card. You can record from the app, and you want to switch it so it's on video like that, or from the controller. I'm going to use the controller, a long press here, and it should pop up TF card, and that means that we are recording to the micro SD card. And let's go ahead and let's take this guy up. Unlock the props, and then you want to go ahead and press the auto takeoff or give it throttle here. And I can already see that jello. And look at this, it's almost coming back down to the ground. It's almost like the barometer gets confused. Maybe I've got some extra vibes in my drone that other people don't have. That would certainly cause gyro and barometer issues if you have heavy vibes, and that would make it have trouble maintaining altitude. But it seems to be doing pretty good right now. And of course those vibes would translate into a lot worse jello, but that's actually rock steady right there. That's pretty good. Now this drone also claims it has optical flow. So optical flow camera on the bottom combined with GPS should give you a nice good position hold. And when it works right, as you can see right now, it looks actually pretty good. But you never know what it's gonna do when you start taking it out, because it can get really wobbly. You maybe see it right now, it's kind of wobbling a little bit. It's just done some weird things. I've given it forward pitch and had the whole drone will yaw and turn left, and I'm not giving it any yaw. Just really strange behavior. There's that wobble. It just kind of, ugh. Now I'm not gonna do a range test. I typically would, you know, lately I've been trying to make sure I remember to do range tests, because you guys like that, I know. But this drone is just so erratic on me at times that I don't even feel comfortable trying to push it on a range test. If it for some reason flies good for me today, maybe I'll come back then and do a follow-up range test video. Because the flight time seems pretty good. I didn't get an exact one. I don't always worry about that on the GPS drones unless it's really bad. But this drone had a pretty decent flight time, it seemed like to me, in my 2 test flights. It's actually flying pretty decent right now. Just doing some basic circles here just to feel it out and see how it's doing. And the one thing it does do well are photos. Let me see if I can, I'm going to stop recording the video and see, because I don't know if it'll take photos while it's recording, probably not, but I'm going to tilt the camera down a bit. Here I am, guys. Hopefully the screen recording is working so you can see me, since I stopped the video on board. But as you can see, I mean, hopefully, like I said, this is showing up. There's a boatload of jello. Let's go ahead and take a few pictures. So a quick press. Let's do another quick press. All right, let's go back now and start recording video again. All right, so we've got the TF symbol showed back up. Now there is some settings in the app. Man, that thing's just so wobbly. It's like it's just, I don't know, it's just really wobbly. We are out now 24 meters and up 11 meters in height, according to the telemetry on the actual controller. Let's take it out here a little ways and just pan around. Man, look at that jello. Look at the whole drone was kind of wobbled onto its side there. So we're not very far out, but let's go ahead now, before we run out of, you know, get low on battery, let's do a return to home test. So I press the return to home, it's going to fly back. You can't set the fail-safe height or the return to home height, and that's kind of unfortunate, because you'd like to be able to have that set at a safe distance. I don't know what it's doing here. The return to home symbol on the screen's lit up. Well, here it comes. Goodness, look how long that took. I've not had it do that. Wow, it is just wobbling like mad up there. Man, this drone is very, very, very erratic. You know, oh, just a casual fly in there, it wasn't too bad, but goodness. We got the sun right up overhead too, so that may be causing some glare issues for you guys. Look at it, look at that. I stopped it a bit by giving it some yaw. I've had it wobble twice as bad as that before. Let's make sure this is not going to come down that log. It's going to be close, but I think we're okay. It has a bit of trouble at times detecting the ground too, especially if you're on a little uneven grass. I've had it just go berserk trying to land. But overall, let's back up so you guys can see that's not bad for return home accuracy for a toy. You know, it has no precision landing or anything like that. I don't think it uses the optical flow for assistance. That would be nice if it did. But man, it is just really, really wobbly when it's up there doing that stuff, you know. But we still have the app going, so everything's behaving as I hoped it would, as long as you follow those procedures and don't open the app before you get this stuff connected. Let's go ahead and move it over here. It says I've got 3 out of 4 bars on the battery, but the controller shows 2 out of 4 bars. One thing I'll let you know, and this is, MJX is notorious for these features, and that's why it's on this drone. Even though it says JJRC, it's because, like I said, MJX makes this drone, I believe. It has limitations. When you get down to under, I think it was under half battery, you're limited to like 150 feet. If you're beyond that, the drone will fly back and do a return to home. If you've got it out a little ways, I believe it was, once it gets to 1 bar on the battery, it will limit you to 15 feet. So you can't go beyond 15 feet if you are down almost to, you know, low battery alert. So it's put the geo fence on you. If you're beyond 15 feet, I believe it was going to come back also and land itself if you're beyond 15 feet. If you're within 15 feet and it hits critical battery, it's just going to land itself within that 15 feet circle. So be mindful of that. If you've got water next to you or something, you're really low, well, it's gonna not try to fly back because it'd have to go up to its fail-safe. It's just gonna fly, it's just gonna land itself from where it is. All right, so we're still recording video, and let's go ahead and take this guy back up. I'm gonna go ahead and unlock the props. I'll just give a manual takeoff here. So once it gets up in the air and settles itself down, GPS hold is actually pretty good. Though it does tend at times get flaky on its altitude when you first take off. But as you guys can see, it's doing quite good. Let's go ahead and turn on those LEDs because those are actually off. So it's a quick press, and there they are. I didn't remember to have those on. Let's see what rate we're in too. I think that's probably the highest, but you do a, boy, look at that. It's trying to correct itself and just wobbles all around to find its GPS location. Let's see, a long press on the light button. That's low right now. So it starts out in high rate, I think. Let's do a long press again. And there's 2. It does have more pitch in the highest rate. You can do waypoints with this, and you can do a follow me mode. Maybe I'll try to see. I've not tried the follow me mode yet. If it's anything like the other ones, it'll work okay. Man, that is so wobbly. But we're not going to have time. Look at that. Holy cow. I don't even, look at that. I didn't do anything to the drone, and it just wobbled itself down and landed. So now you guys can see why I'm concerned about doing any kind of a waypoint mission or anything with this. Hopefully my microphone didn't come unplugged. I don't think it did. My microphone cord got caught on a wire. Yeah, that was just terrible. I don't understand what happened there. I was just doing some casual flying, and as you guys can see, that was absolutely terrible. So it's blinking now. Let's see if it'll even let me take off, because there it's recalibrating itself whenever I press the unlock button. Now I got solid lights. It should take off now. So let's go ahead and unlock the props, and I'll do it auto takeoff. So man, that was horrendous. That wobbling you guys saw there, that's what I dealt with the other day on the return to home. It just gets itself almost like in a vortex ring state or something, where it's just terrible. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm in the highest rate. Look at that. Let's do a long press. That should be the lowest rate. Let's go back to the highest. Looks to me like I got to turn the lights back on. There they go. For some reason it disabled the lights. So wow. So follow me mode is here. It says once follow me is working, the camera lens will keep pointed at the mobile phone. So let's see if we can start follow me mode. It's turning around. I'm gonna walk this way, and it's going away from me at first. Now it's coming forward. There it goes. Let's stop and see if it actually stops. And it does. So if the drone's not flying like it's possessed, the follow me mode actually does seem to work okay. Let's go to my left and see if the drone goes to its right. Well, it's kind of circling around. Yeah, it's following me. Actually, it's actually doing a pretty good job of it. Let's go ahead and disable or turn it off there. I just press the button on the screen and it turns off the follow me mode. This is, you know, like I said, because it's an MJX, you know, the features are pretty much identical to what you expect on an MJX drone. And the MJX app is identical to this. It's just been skinned with JJRC's logo on it. But MJX drones are usually pretty good. And ah man, look at this one is an absolute dud, especially for the price this drone is selling for. Depending on where you get it, this is from an Amazon seller, and I think it's, you know, it's really expensive on Amazon, like $180 or $70 with a coupon. But you can get this sometimes for under 100 from China, I think around 80 bucks, and even at that price, it's just simply not worth it. There's much better options out there. So now we're getting the low battery alert. This is the half battery, low battery alert. I don't even know what it's doing there. It just yawed itself around. I am not doing follow me anymore. So, man, look, it is just wobbling like something mad. Let's see if I can tilt the camera straight down here. You guys can, I'll move it up overhead here. Gotta get it turned around. Take it up. And maybe you can see me down there on the ground. Waving, though it's drifted off on me. Bring it forward a little more. There we go. And now I'm waving. There is another thing I didn't mention is there is a ton of lag. Not the worst lag I've ever seen, but certainly not what you want to see. For 5G Wi-Fi, this should have way less lag because that's a really quick Wi-Fi, and it's not going to interfere with your controller or anybody Wi-Fi in your neighborhood. So 5G is always better. Even though it doesn't have as good a range as 2.4, it has, you know, in terms of like your Wi-Fi internet, 5G is faster, and it just doesn't have the cross interference that 2.4 has. So it's just disappointing in just about every way, except for, like I said, the photos are actually pretty good. Look at the wobble in that thing. All right, so we're, like I said, we got this annoying beep going because we are down to the under half battery. Now it's going to land itself, I think, because it's, let's see if I can fly it over. It's reached critical battery now, and there it landed on it. It's going to, well, I think it's going to try to land itself. Whoa! Part of that, though, I will say, wasn't my fault. I was trying to bring it away from the road edge there because I didn't want it to go down the hill or land on the road and have a truck or car come before I get to it. But that's why it skimmed across the road there. But it was limiting itself, you know, 150 feet there at half battery, and then when it finally reached the critical battery. It's, like I said, I was within its buffer, you know, within, I guess I think it was 15 feet. It seems like I was a little farther than that, but it was just going ahead and land itself rather than return to home. All right, we got that annoying beeping going on here. My goodness, is that annoying. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen recording, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this drone off now, because let me stop recording video first, because otherwise, if we don't do that, we are going to probably lose the onboard footage. Always remember, guys, stop your recording. It's difficult for a reviewer like me compared to someone just fun flying to remember that, because there's so much I'm talking about. If I forget that, 9 out of 10 times that footage is corrupted on the card, or if it's just recording a Wi-Fi feed to your phone especially, it almost always will corrupt that video. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the drone now. You just press this little battery, the thing in, and the lights go all the way across and back down and goes out. Turn off this annoying controller. It's beeping like mad at me. So that wraps up this flight review of the JJRC H73 Feahoot, whatever that means. Never heard that word before. Also known as the MJX X103W. I can't recommend this drone. It is awful. It's probably the worst GPS drone I ever have reviewed. Yeah, there's a possibility that others are not as bad as this. The few videos, and by few, there are only a few, on this or the MJX, the camera didn't look as jello-y as mine. Some of that could have been selective editing too. And I didn't hear anybody comment on its flying, though I could see it wobble in their videos, though it was not, I don't know if it was as severe as mine. So, you know, it doesn't appear to have anything broken or defective, but maybe there's some extra vibrations in this particular one I got to make mine a little bit worse. All right, guys, that wraps up the review of the JJRC H73 Feahoot. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch all these videos that I've been uploading. Make sure you press the bell so you don't miss one of those videos, guys. And as always, have a great day.
The power of the dark side.